Hey guys, Tara B here tonight with your vocal tip. We're going to use an SOVT exercise, which is a hum, and we'll just hum through part of a song first. So what that does is it just kind of helps those vocal folds to stay nice and even keeled, not pressing or pushing. Then what we do is we add the hum back into the song with the lyrics alternating. Every morning you greet me. You look happy to meet me. You get the idea, and that will just help you to make sure that you're staying consistent and not pressing at all on those vocal folds.
Learn to sing in 1 minute, part 4. So when you're singing, if you think that you're not going to hit a note, you won't hit it, if that makes sense. So say if you're a gymnast, if you want to do a back handspring and you doubt yourself, you're going to land on your head. Or if you do martial arts and you're going to kick a board and try to break it, if you doubt yourself, it's not going to break and you're going to end up breaking your foot. So when you're singing and you're trying to hit a high note, you have to just think in your mind, I'm going to do this, and if my voice cracks, it cracks, but I'm going to hit this, because any doubt in your mind that causes your muscles to tense and like kind of second guess yourself, even if you think you're not, it's going to make your voice just not quite make it, because your voice is actually listening to your brain. So if you tell your brain that you're going to do it, your voice is going to do it too. You got this. Learn how to sing part 5, and this is life-changing. So this is on tone, and when you're singing, you can play around with rasp and different things with your tongue on the roof of your mouth and your throat, and that's how you find your unique sound. And that's why you can hear a new song on the radio by Beyonce and know it's Beyonce without even knowing it's Beyonce. It just sounds like her tone. So to find your tone, it might not always come naturally to you. You might have to play around with it. I first found mine when I was 14, and I was singing this song, Shell of a Guy, and I kept singing Shell of a Guy, boring like that over and over again. And then I did a cool thing where I threw some rasp and flipped the last note and did Shell of a Guy. And I was like, ooh, what was that? That was cool. And then I just kept playing around with my voice. So you can find the different things your voice does, and it doesn't necessarily have to be key. It's just how you let the note come through.
Hey guys, Tara B here with your vocal tip on belting today. I want to say this first, that belting, a true belt long term, is not going to be good for your voice. So make sure that instead you are going to think more of a mix of your voice, or using just enough breath support behind it. And one of the things you can do to make sure there's less pressure is to do hums. And think about where you feel that. So if I was going to sing a song like A Million Dreams, I would do this. Get relaxed. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. And then I would use a little bit of a mix. A million dreams are keeping me awake. Or if I was even higher, a million dreams, instead of doing that, a million dreams are keeping me awake.
Hey guys, welcome to Rochelle's Music School Online. Yesterday we spoke about tips and tricks to learn how to sing and help deliver a little bit better and hold your breath along. So today we're actually going to be talking about foods and drinks to avoid, as well as good food and good drinks as well, to help you deliver a little bit better when it comes to singing, and also little tips that's going to help you to avoid the phlegm and vocal flexibility when you're doing all your trills and runs. Stay tuned guys.
Hi friends, Tara B with your vocal tip for today, which is on pitch. Pitch is made by actually just thinking something in our brain, like we hear a note and we think the pitch, and then our brain sends signals down to our vocal folds to shift and make changes so that you can actually do the pitches you want. And if you are flat ever or even sharp, that has to do with the amount of airflow that's happening around those vocal folds to make them change. So you could do an exercise like zzz, zzz, to make sure that breath flow is consistent, so that your pitch is consistent, that it doesn't waver up or down. The other exercise you can use that will help you continue to train your ear for pitch is a very simple one. It goes 1 1 2 1 1 2 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 4 3 2 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 4 3 2 1.
guys. So you actually have a palate in your mouth called your soft palate, and it needs to be raised up. So pinch your nose. If you sound like a Dalek, then it's not raised. Ah! But if you can make it not Dalek-y, then it is raised, and you can sing high. Hey! Woo!
Hey, I just want to remind you it's okay to not feel okay right now. If it makes you feel any better, I'm also struggling with feeling okay on a day-to-day basis. And that's okay. It's not good or bad, it just is. Just be patient and gentle with yourself.
So it's like 30 days deep into this quarantine. I know most of you all are bored as fuck. But don't worry, I'm here at your rescue. I'm going to teach you a valuable skill. Sing! Here are tips that you can use to get better at singing while bored at home, doing nothing. Numero uno. Learn your C major scale. Go on YouTube and type this in. And once you type that in, sing along with it. Because if you don't get that down, you're not going to be able to sing at all or do anything I just did. All right, next tip is you got to do B-rolls. B-rolls sound something like this. Go up and then down. Last but not least, once you do these things, go to your favorite artist and try to sing their songs, like to the T. Let me know if you want more tips.
How guys sing. This girl is on fire. How girls sing. This girl is on fire. You and her talking. Something deep down in my soul said, cry, girl. Cry, girl.
15-second singing tip. If you're struggling to hit like a high note comfortably, try speaking it first. So for example, the hard bit in Never Enough. So try speaking it first. Never enough. And it gets you into the right placement. Never enough. And then you can actually sing it. Never enough. Thank you. I'm actually a music artist called Charlotte Betson, and I have a song out right now called Panic Attack. Check it out.
Great singers need to warm up their voice, so let's do this. This warm up will be humming, so we're gonna go Helps to warm up your vocal cords and helps to extend your range over time. We're gonna go up and down a scale. Are you ready? This exercise will be goo, so you're gonna literally sound like a baby. This next one is one of my favorites because you have to spend half the time trying to learn it before you can sing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 1, 5, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. This one is pretty simple. We're just gonna use a sliding ah sound. Keep going up and down the scale to expand your range and strengthen your vocal cords. Listen now, and your voice will thank me later. First, vocal warm-ups every day. Get into the habit of doing vocal warm-ups every day. I know it's hard. It's hard to take 10 minutes out of your day to dedicate to your instrument, but you need to. If you want to really strengthen and develop your voice, you need to do this every day, at least for 10 minutes minimum. You can watch some of my TikToks to see some vocal exercises that I do, or you can go on YouTube, Google, whatever. Number 2, you need to be drinking water. And I don't mean chugging 2 bottles when you wake up and chugging 2 bottles when you go to sleep. Your voice, your vocal cords need to be lubricated in order to give you the best output. So keep sipping on your water all day long and your voice will thank you. Number 3 is relaxation. When you're singing, try to relax the jaw. There's so much things that you can focus on and just get in your head, but try to work on one thing at a time. Maybe one day focus on your jaw, one day focus on your breathing, and over time your body will develop that muscle memory. You want to hit notes and hold them. And here's another vocal warm-up in 3, 2, 1. I'm going to play it a total of 3 times, demonstrating it twice in 2 different keys, and then once at the end saying nothing. So the vocal warm-up is E-A-R, which spells out ear, but it goes like this.
The slower you do this exercise, the more breathing it will require. So if you're trying to work on your breathing, then do it a little slower. If not, you might want to speed it up. But whenever you're warming up your voice, please stand up. You know how Sharpay goes, ma, ma, in High School Musical? We're going to use the first part as a vocal warm-up. Lip rolls are a very popular vocal warm-up because they help to really relax those muscles in your face, get your mouth moving, and lower your larynx. Some people don't understand how important relaxation is in terms of your performance, whether you're singing in a studio or you're in front of an audience. The outside temperature can affect how you sing. Let me give you an example. If you're cold, your teeth are going to chatter, you're going to be uncomfortable. And if you're anxious, it's going to be even worse. You're not going to sound your best. I recommend doing the lip rolls up the scale or with a song of your choice. Or you're going to sound like a helicopter propeller, so just embrace it.
If you're having a problem with high notes, it might be because you haven't developed a strong head voice. What is head voice? When you describe your voice, you've probably heard chest voice, head voice. Well, that's where you feel resonance when you sing. So if I do chest, I feel it vibrate in my chest. If I'm doing head voice, I feel a little vibration right here. So an exercise I use to develop my head voice is I just go down as low as I can in that light voice. So I call it my owl voice, actually. So I try to go as low as I can. I don't do that's chest. Keep it light. And your voice will start to get easier on those high notes.
Sometimes it's just about how much pressure are you placing on the folds. Not tension on the throat, but how much pressure are you using on your vocal folds. So to be able to access that sound and that power, we use a speech start. For example, in your low voice, we might try using a hey. Hey, hey, hey! And suddenly it's there, and everything that needed to happen in terms of your diaphragm and your placement and the power and the pressure all just coalesce. If you're trying to use your high belt, you might try something like a no, 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 and it all just falls into place.
Let's talk about riffs and runs for beginners. I just want to say everybody has a different kind of voice. My voice is very heavy. I struggle with riffs. So what I have to do is break it into pieces. So I was looking at Ariana Grande, the bridge right before the final chorus. And she has this riff and the notes are, right? And what I do is I take something like YouTube or the amazing Slow Downer app, which is great, and slow it down as slow as it can be. So I figure out what the parts of the run are. It's the first part, second part, third part. Then I figure out what the vowels are. She does, ha, 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 yeah. And then I try to do it faster. Ha, ha, yeah. And keep doing it. Ha,
Vocal warm-ups in 3, 2, 1. Remember when Mariah Carey was singing All I Want for Christmas and her voice cracked on national TV? This just shows how common voice cracks are. No matter how expansive of a range you have, voice cracks happen to every singer at some point in time. Just don't be afraid to let it happen and work on it. Because if you don't know what to work on, how are you going to get better? So let's get into these vocal warm-ups. First exercise will be a ga sound. Our singing is going to be quite cyclical, so it's going to go from that first note all the way around back to that first note. Ready? Ga, ga, ga. When you sing, really try to open that jaw and relax it. Remember, we are working on the transition from the chest to the head voice. Keep practicing and I'll be back for another one.
Trick you can use to enhance your voice, and you can also use it for belting. So pick a part in the song that you want to make sound a little bit more enhanced, maybe a bit louder, more brighter, and just practice going like this, ha, ha, or you can go, and that's called sob technique. Then you can apply sob technique to a part in the song, hey, and that's how you kind of get the belt out.
Today's video is on expanding your range safely, courtesy of Keegan. Thanks for asking this question. What I'm going to do right now is drop 5 tips to help expand your range safely, and then in my next video I will do some vocal warm-ups. Tip number 1, vocal warm-ups, need I say more? They help to gradually expand your range over time. What the hell, this airplane. And when you do these warm-ups, it's important that you're going through your entire vocal range, so going through the scales, thirds, fourths, you name it. Number 3, hum. If you cannot sing the scales, hum the scales. I guarantee you over time you will be able to sing those notes that you were once humming. Humming is so slept on, I swear. Number 4, push the boundaries every time just a little bit. You'll notice maybe your voice will crack, but over time that voice crack will go away. Number 5, make sure that when you're singing you're focusing on hitting the right pitch, not trying to go and stretch your voice as hard and high as it can go. And with all of this, make sure you are breathing to get the best out.
I'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh baby, I'm right here. You'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh baby, I'm right here. Go give love to your body. It's only you that can stop it. So give love to your body. Give love to your body.
Quick singing tip for best results: don't sing a vowel how you'd say it. For example, you say never enough, but don't sing never enough. Go never enough, never enough.
Hey TikTok, so someone said they actually learned how to scream from my old video on how to scream. So here's how to scream in 60 seconds, part 2. First, let's get the sounds down. That should really vibrate your head when you do it. Sound should feel up here when you do it. Me. And then you're gonna control your diaphragm, so you're gonna feel it almost lifting up at the same time. So you have your sigh, air. Tongue placement. Tongue placement at the top.
For highs, I knew this nasally thing.
5-second singing hack. Take a breath in and go.
I'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh baby, I'm right here. You'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh baby, I'm right here. Go give love to your body. It's only you that can stop it. So give love to your body. Give love to your body. You're a bad thing. I know I fucked up. I'm just a little.
Get out the baggy tees, y'all, because here's how you sing like Billie Eilish in 3 simple steps. Step 1 is we're going to sing in our head voice, and we're going to make it breathy and whispery. We're not going to place it forward in the mask, and we're not going to swallow it. We're going to keep it right where it is and try to keep our mouth closed the entire time we're singing to create that direct sound she has. For instance, What Is It About Them should sound like this.
What is it about them?
Step 2, which I kind of did, is you're going to choose a note to slide down on and maybe scoop up a little bit. So using the same phrase.
What is it about them?
And last step is you're going to add a fluttery little vibrato to the end of notes, kind of like the whimpering sound you make after you cry. I've made that sound at least twice a day for the past 6 weeks. So putting it all together, it should sound like this.
What is it about them? I must be missing something. Tore my shirt to stop you bleeding.
And that's how you sing like Billie Eilish.
Baby, your smile's forever in my mind. People fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe it's so hard of a plan. I just keep on making the same mistakes.
heard you wanted to sing. Are you ready? Don't think too much. Here's another range extension exercise. So we're going to do a lip roll or lip trill into an ah sound. Here it goes. Now you try. Good. This exercise is meant to extend your higher range or your head voice range so that you can sing higher notes. I personally have a naturally lower register, so I have to work a little bit harder to sing those higher notes, but this definitely helps, especially if you go high enough, you'll find yourself just doing the lip trill or humming. I'm gonna make a video that puts both range extension exercises together so you can practice.
Another video? Good Lord. Today we're doing Lorde. I tried to make myself look paler. I love melodrama, one of my favorite albums ever. Step 1, we're gonna place our voice in the back of the throat and try to add this little grogginess to it. It sounds like this. I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. Step 2 is we're gonna choose a couple consonants and vowels in each phrase to really over-enunciate and accentuate. There are 3 distinct vowels she does. The classic indie vowel, which is making O, ow. She takes an aw and makes it ool. And then she takes an E and really accentuates the eh. It sounds like this. And I'm not proud of my address. Wait till you're announced. We've not yet lost all our graces. Send the cool out, send the cool out, send the cool out. Final step is to take a lyric at the end of a phrase and just speak it on rhythm. It sounds like this. They'll hang us in the Louvre, down the back, but who cares? Still Louvre. Your car, the radio. Today we are doing Celine, Heaven Help Me. Celine is literally everything. Step 1, she has a very forward placement, but it doesn't sit here in the mask. It's right here, and she kind of chews on her words a little bit, so very forward. She has a breathy head voice and a beautiful belt. It sounds like this. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. Step 2 is that little riff I did. Celine does a lot of variation of 3-note riffs, and at the end of phrases, she scoops up sometimes. It all sounds like this. There were days when the sun was so cruel. Final step is her vibrato. It's very quick, usually comes in at the end of words, but sometimes when she's belting high, it's the whole word. So choose what you will, it all sounds like this. Once more, you open the door, and you're here in my heart, and my heart will go on and on.
I'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh baby, I'm right here. You'll never be alone. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. I'll be with you from dusk till dawn. Oh baby, I'm right here. Go give love to your body. It's only you that can stop it. So give love to your body. Give love to your body.
Today we're going to be focusing on the tongue. And no, I know what you're thinking. There's nothing dirty to this. We are going to be working on articulation and tension. Those are some common struggles that singers struggle with. We're going to be perfecting our Megan Thee Stallion. Just try this with me. Personally, I speak really fast, so sometimes the words don't always come out. Okay, Amber, can you just get on with it? I know, I'm trying. So the best way to relieve tension is to get loose.
She can never get loose. I thought she could never get loose.
Now, you don't have to do all of that, but I recommend dancing just a little bit. Somebody get. Turn on your favorite song and dance like no one's watching. And then do these tongue exercises with me. So we're going to start with placing our tongue on our hard palate, then our soft palate, and then sticking it out of our mouth. Like Megan Thee Stallion. And then we're going to go from cheek to cheek. Tip of the tongue behind your bottom lip and then flap it out. Last one, flap your tongue out and fold it back.
Fun facts about singers. Unique techniques I use to help my singing. Episode 3. Singing on NG. I'm just kidding, I didn't mean literally. I mean singing on the pronunciation NG. Do it with me. notice that even though I'm singing higher, I'm not singing any louder. NG focuses easy breath pressure. NG teaches us exactly how much breath pressure we actually need to sing those notes. You don't need to be pressing pedal to the metal, screaming like Christina Aguilera, girl. Just kidding, I love Xtina. But seriously, if you're having trouble singing a song, practice without the words. Just sing it on NG. It'll make singing the song a lot easier. Comment below for part 4.
So I'm going to teach you guys how to do the lip trills. Lick your lip. Go ahead and take your ring finger, place them right here, and push out and up. Now blow gently once you look silly. And if it's not working, push a little bit more in towards your teeth and try again. You'll know when you've got it when you sound like a doorstop. The best thing to do is try and relax. I know people can get frustrated when they don't get something on the first try, but really try and relax those lips and try what I just taught you, and then let me know how it goes. Here are some weird things that just make sense when it comes to improving your singing. So, posture. Posture definitely helps. Act like you are Pinocchio, you have a string that is keeping you upright and straight. And you want to make sure your chin is up, not down. Number 2 is breathing. Breathing is key when it comes to singing, right? So what we want to do is when we're warming up, when we're singing, we want to put our hand on our belly to remind ourselves, hey, you got to keep working. You got to do your thing. Another thing is this rainbow expression. This helps you to breathe. It reminds you. So when you're singing, you do this. It reminds you to take a breath of air in. It's weird, but it works. Number 3 is hand gestures. What I mean by that is we're using our hands while we're singing to develop muscle memory. So when we're moving our hand up to sing higher, we're singing higher because the movement of our hand helps us. It's weird, but it works. Number 4 is vowel placement. What I mean by that is singing your vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y.
So, before you go, was there something I could have said to make your heart beat better? Only I know you have a storm to let us know.
How to sing like a Disney princess in 15 seconds. Get your head voice going. Woo! Hand on your stomach. Hey, that's mine! Trust me on this one. Now combine. And at last I see the light.
Someone asked, why do they sound so nasal when they sing? Well, there's 2 types of nasality. There's hypo, meaning there's not enough air getting into the nasal cavities, that it kind of sounds like they have a head cold. And then there's hypernasal, which is when there's way too much air going into the nasal cavities, and this is usually the sound people don't care for and what they're referring to. It's really difference of the position of your soft palate and how much air and sound waves from your vocal folds vibrating are traveling up into that space. So to play with this, I recommend singing a song as if you were holding your breath underwater without the nose plug. So just kind of like this, like you have a head cold. Sing the song through and then slowly allow your soft palate to relax until you hear the blend or the mix change in your resonating space. And find a balance that's right for you.
Another video. This was a big request, so I figured I'd do it. Step 1, she has a very nasal and forward placement, and then she adds a little bit of vocal fry to her singing. That should never hurt you. Please don't hurt yourselves. Anyways, it sounds like this. Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know? Step 2, which I kind of did, is she adds an emphasis on certain words, specifically words with 2 syllables, like baby. Sounds like this. Oh, baby, baby. Another example. My loneliness is killing me. Final step is to have a nice, airy, breathy head voice. It sounds very different from the chest and what I did previously. It sounds like this. Oh, the taste of your lips, I'm on a ride. And the last bonus step is to be an icon. Thanks for watching.
Εντάξει Γιώργο, κλείς τα αγόρι μου. Όπα ρε. Ρε μαλάκες, γιατί ακούγομαι σαν να έχω όταν σου ακούω. Ξεκολλά, ρε. Χαίρεστε καλά αυτό. Βαγγέλη. Δεν είσαι αστείος ρε μαλάκα. Βαγγέλη, ξεκολλά, μα έρθω από εκεί να σε σπάσω στο ξύλ. Ρε, ξεκολλάτε λίγο ρε. Είναι λες και τραγουδά όλη την... Μαλάκες. You think about the
Today we're talking about the difference between mixing and belting. If you haven't seen my video on mixed voice, go check it out. But otherwise, let's keep talking. When you're belting, the sound resonates externally off of your chest, but internally out of your oral cavity or your mouth cavity. You're taking your chest voice and you're pulling it into your head voice register. So the difference really is that belting requires more tension and strain, whereas when you're using your mixed voice, you're ascending over that gap in between the chest and the head voice by learning to use your resonators in order to manipulate or maneuver the sound. So you're splitting the sound from your mouth and your chest resonators with your head resonators, your pharyngeal resonators. By manipulating the sound with your resonators, you get rid of that added tension and strain that comes with belting. So what I mean by resonator, we have 4 resonators that are located on our face. We have our pharynx, our larynx, our oral cavity, and our nose cavity. So that is where we can bounce around sound in our head in order to get fuller. As I mentioned in my last video, there are 4 resonator cavities: pharynx, larynx, our nasal cavity, and our oral cavity. Why are they so important? Because depending on how you shape them, they can give you a really nice full sound without the strain. A lot of singers end up straining their voice because they don't know how to maneuver their resonators. And so what are the benefits of applying resonance when you're singing? Number 1, it helps with your vibrato. What I mean by vibrato is when you carry out a note, like so, you want to be able to hold it and carry it out strongly and firmly without losing that note. You know what I mean? Without turning it into something higher or lower. Number 2, it helps you to develop a symbiotic relationship between your resonators and your vocal folds. And number 3, once you know how to use your resonance, you can target specific cavities so you can sound the way you want to sound.
Instagram voted, today is Adele. I love Adele. Adele is from London and her accent plays a lot into how she sings, specifically her vowels. It sounds like this. I met this guy and it changed my life. It's a bad accent, but it's long and forward. That's the placement we want. I heard that you're settled down. Step 2 is Adele holds out a lot of the vowels and kind of grows or builds and crescendos into them, and it sounds like this. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Sometimes it hurts instead. Final step is Adele does a lot of 3-note riffs or variations of that riff at the end of phrases or words. Sounds like this. Don't forget me, I beg, I remembered you said, the scars of your love remind me of us, they keep me thinking that we almost had it all.
We come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and a cast through the skies. Yeah!
Do you ever hear a singer sing high notes and they sound like they're screaming? I used to have a lot of problems with this. I would think singing higher meant singing louder. Wrong! I began visualizing my singing and it completely changed the game for me. I started feeling where in my body vibrations resonated when I sang. If you're speaking right now, put your hand on your chest and you can feel vibrations in your chest. That's called chest resonance. We also have head or mask resonance. Ah! You can hear the shift. Ah! The beginning is in my mask. It's not in my chest. So when you're singing higher, you need to shift into that registration. Do not keep it in your chest. Don't try to pull your chest voice into your head. There is something called a mix where they both combine, but if you try to pull your chest voice too high up, you'll create a raised larynx and actually strain your vocal cords. You're also going to want to change the vowel pronunciation as you get higher. Listen as I change vowel and change registration. If you want your question answered, drop it below in the comments and I will answer.
OMG, she's back with another video and still no makeup on. There have been a lot of suggestions, a few for Maggie Rogers, and I love her so much that I wanted to do it. I will get to the other suggestions. Quickly, her placement is kind of in the back of the throat and very open, but she still pushes it forward and doesn't say a lot of consonants. It sounds like this. Would you believe me now if I told you I was caught up in a wave? Step 2 is she does a lot of flips and scoops up from her chest to her head voice, and it sounds like this. I could see a change coming, saw him on TV. Final step is to not chest belt everything, is to sing a lot of things in your mix. Altogether, it sounds like this.
You keep reaching out, then I'll keep coming back. And if you're gone for good, then I'm okay with that. If you leave the light on, then I'll leave the light on.
The best breathing exercise of all time is the hiss. It's literally been used for hundreds and hundreds of years. So if you take a nice low breath for me and hiss, think of what you feel. You're going to feel looseness in the abs, freedom of the breath. This is what you want to feel when you're singing any style of music. So I have a challenge for you. Try and hiss for as long as possible. How far can you go? For younger singers, we're looking for at least 15 to 20 seconds. Older singers are looking for at least 30 seconds, and hopefully you can do more. So comment with how you did, and good luck.
Happy Sunday. Today we are doing Halsey. I love Halsey and love her vibe. Step 1 is we want to push all of our air forward through this nasal passage, and we don't want to sing too wide or too long. She has a powerful but direct sound. Sounds like this.
Tell me how's it feel, sitting up there, feeling so high but too far away to hold me.
Step 2 is to flip to your head voice very quickly at the end of phrases. Halsey does this a lot. It sounds like this.
Now you're looking pretty in a hotel bar and I can't stop.
Final step is to fall off of notes at the end of phrases. A lot of pop artists do it. It's a stylistic choice. Altogether, it sounds like this.
Everything is blue, his pills, his scents, his jeans, and now I'm covered in the color, pull apart at the seams, and it's blue, and it's blue.
So you want to learn how to belt, and I got just the thing for you. Every day this week, I'm going to be posting a new belting tip. That's 7 tips to help you build range, strength, power, get rid of any cracks you got so you can belt through your range with ease no matter what song you're singing. So follow to take this journey with us and comment with any belting questions you got. The belt needs a strong and clear chest voice. Otherwise, you're going to want to flip into head voice too soon. So we're going to find your chest voice. Say for me, go, 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 like you're calling out to a friend across the street. You want to feel the power, strength, and thickness in your voice. If things are feeling too weak or too breathy, try it again and give it some more oomph. Now, you don't want to do this for too long because it could tire you out, but we want you to be comfortable with this because we're going to be building a nice, strong, and healthy mix off of this type of sound. So let me know how you do and follow for more because part 2 is coming out tomorrow. For this tip, I'm going to give you my favorite exercise for building range in the belt. So we're going to sing on a B-U-B, bub, bub, bub on this pattern. Bub, 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 bub. Now we want to make sure we don't crack into bub, 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 bub. That means things are too weak and too loose. Use the chest voice we talked about yesterday. Bub, 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 and refine that power. We're going to start down here to start you off easy. Bub, 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 bub. Go ahead, give it a try. Nice. Stay strong for me. Good. Keep up the good work. Last few. Good work. Now we're belting. Keep that strength. And highest. If you can get that top note, you could sing most songs out there. You always want to start in a comfortable place and gradually work your way up as the muscles get used to this coordination. We're going to be going into tip 3 tomorrow, so follow for more. This is a really important tip for belting. We want to make sure you don't widen your mouth as you go higher in your range. So we're not looking for this. Ah! We call that spreading. It'll give you a few extra notes in the middle part of your range, but it's going to lead to cracking soon after that and fatigue as well. So it's not going to help you reach your full potential as a belter. What we're looking for is we want to go from the bottom to the top of the range with this mouth shape. Ah! Notice how I didn't have to open up to make that happen, and I still had a good amount of power. If you're struggling with this, put fingers on the corners of your lips. You'll feel if the mouth wants to open up too far. And you just got to remind yourself to stay slim. Don't go beyond your fingers. And that'll help a ton. It'll make things feel so much more effortless, and it'll take away a ton of strain on the voice. So let me know how you do and follow for more because part 4 is coming out tomorrow. The thing about belting is it isn't really a loud sound. If you're listening to your favorite belters, it might sound like they have a huge voice because they're in the recording studio or they're singing live with a microphone, but that's because technology is doing all the work for them. The truth of the matter is, belting isn't louder than how I'm talking with you right now. So to find your ideal belting volume, count for me with confidence and clarity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can also use your favorite lyrics from a song. We don't want to shout them, we just want to speak it nice and easy. Go back to this feeling if you feel like you're using too much push or or volume in your sound, and it's going to help to bring balance. Getting control of this volume is going to make the high notes so much easier, they'll sound healthier, and it'll take away so much fatigue on the voice. So let me know how you do and follow for more, because part 5 is coming out tomorrow. I've been getting a bunch of questions about this, so for our last tip, we're going to talk about the skrelt. If you take a scream and you take a belt and you put them together, you get a skrelt. It uses a ton of volume, a ton of space in the mouth, and a ton of effort. If it feels like you're pushing super hard to get the notes that you want, it puts you in the skrelting category. Some singers can get away with this for a song or two, but it causes so much fatigue, and it's going to tire out your voice way too fast. So instead, we want to perfect the belt. It takes time to master, but belting is more controlled, it's stronger, it sounds easier, and it takes so much less effort. We don't want it to feel hard, we want it to sound awesome. So use the tips in this series so that you can strengthen the voice and find the belt, so skrelting is no longer necessary. And this brings us to the end of this series, but there are so many more to come. Let me know what other vocal topics you want to cover, and I promise we will get to them all.